upside down.
That Super B was the fastest quarter-mile production car made back then.
Wow.
You see a small car like this, and you really don't anticipate a V8 Hemi.
Caffeine and octane, here we go. Let's go see some cars.
Oh, coffee. Coffee. Everywhere you look.
You know what that
What's up?
is?
Coffee? What?
Quattro Espresso.
It's like he needs something else to
Our
make it.
hyperactive child.
It's gonna be a good day.
What's going on?
You know who I called?
Who?
Magnus Walker, the outlaw himself.
He's coming?
He's coming.
He's gonna get mobbed.
Yeah.
I understand he went to Wolf Mountain Vineyard to see a collection.
A vineyard? What's up there?
A big Porsche collection.
I'm super excited to check out Carl's garages. You never know what's lurking behind these barn doors. Now take your pick. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Let's get out and drive. Air-cooled heaven out here in the North Georgia mountains.
Speaking of fast, and I don't want to have to fight neither one of you guys. Listen, I saw a Dodge Super B, a factory race car. That's mine. I'm all over it.
You saw my car I got this weekend?
Get out of here. You don't have no Super. You wish. You didn't have no
I
Super.
know. Yeah, I do want it.
Wow, what a beautiful Corvette. This is really a special car. I was with the fella that owns this the day he bought it, and David is meticulous in his restorations. It is exactly the way they came off the assembly line. Here he is right here. David, how you
Jim,
doing?
good to see you.
Good to see you. Man, this thing is looking fantastic.
It's coming along nice. It is a 1958 big brake Fuelie Roadster. This particular car came with special ducting system that goes all the way to the rear brakes and cools the rear brakes, as well as cerammetallic brake drums, which were used on airplanes. They made 144 of the big brake Fuelies,
Okay.
and of the 144, less than half of them remain because they were raced. Everything on this car is original. I'm in the process of getting the Duntov certification, which is the highest award you can get on a restored Corvette.
Their goal is to keep these cars exactly the way they came off the assembly line. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So no deviation whatsoever. Most of the time when we're restoring cars, we think of making them as nice and as perfect as possible. But that's not the way they came off the assembly line. And therefore, many of the cars you see today are over-restored.
I'll show you some of that. If you look at the engine, you'll see overspray up through onto the intake.
Intake, I see that. You clean that off, you lose points because they came out of the factory with overspray on them.
They also used a lot of excess glue. In and around here, if you look, you'll see gobs of the yellow.
Just like they slathered it on.
They lathered it on there, and if you clean that up, you'll lose judging points.
Wow, it's meticulous restoration. You had said that you were going to try and take it to the highest level you could possibly get, and it looks like you're well on your way.
I'm getting there.
David, thanks a million for bringing this out.
Wow, a Super B? Really, a Super B?
The 69 and a half.
Why the half?
Everybody was racing for the horsepower and the quarter-mile times. And they had that half-year model, was important to them back then because of the tweaks they made. That model, 69 and a half Super B, was the fastest quarter-mile production car made back then. Don't try and make a quick turn, though.
You don't need to make no turn.
No.
We talking straight line.
Yeah, man.
We don't even need brakes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We just
that's right.
need horsepower. Wow, you can't find these cars.
My son and I started getting some cars. We were trying to figure out what cool cars we could get. He said, hey, Dad, Barrett Jackson's down at Palm Beach. I saw this really cool orange bee. He said, Dad, we should go down here and look at it. This is my son, Chris.
That's your son? So you saw the car on Barrett Jackson?
Yeah, down in Palm Beach, and
obviously, you were the last bidder.
yeah.
If you don't mind, what'd you pick it up for?
Ooh, I don't even remember. It was.
Oh, I do.
It was, he had to write a check.
A little blurry
so
for me.
he did.
Yeah,
it would be blurry for you.
Yeah.
If it was me,
I was just sitting there
it'd
going
be
like
blurry
this.
too.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I want it.
Our top was $70,000. We paid $72,000 for it.
That's not really bad.
No. The car's worth every penny of that today.
Yes. So is this a number matching?
So this is numbers matching except for the block.
Except for the block.
Except for the block.
Okay.
So it's all correct. Oh, smells great, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. We ain't worried about fuel economy.
No.
Not with nothing like this.
We have no clue what the fuel economy is. We don't want to know.
See what you got in here? You got a lot of great diversity in here. Back then, this was not necessarily a super desirable car.
And yet they're one of the finest driving cars I have.
Magnus Walker is not your typical Porsche guy. He literally wrote the book on paving his path from fashion designer to customizing one of the world's great collections. His restorations caught the eye of the automotive industry, putting this urban outlaw squarely in the fast lane. I ran into him here at Porsche North America headquarters and clued him in on a can't-miss mountain collection.
I was at the Porsche Experience Center. I heard about this guy, Carl. He's got this Porsche collection, and he's a wine guy in North Georgia mountains, and I like to get out and drive, so I figured, hey, pedal to the metal. We'll see what's in here. I'm mostly a beer guy, but we'll see what Georgia wine's all about. Pretty nice place.
Wolf Mountain Vineyards, family-owned, small winery producing European-style dry red wine and white wine blends and some incredible sparkling wines.
Hey, Carl. How you doing? Great to meet you. What an awesome place.
Well, it's about time you got here.
Well, it's pretty exciting. I mean, what a spectacular location.
Garage is right ahead.
Well, I'm super excited to be able to check out Carl's garages. Apparently, he's got a couple of them, so you never know what's lurking behind these barn doors. Well, let's start with numero uno. Let's see what you got in here.
Yes, sir.
Bunch of Porsche cars. This looks like the Speedster room.
It is. 3 generations.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Let's go kick some tires.
Head in. What I did about 20 years ago is went back and said, what are the best cars I've owned for each generation, and sought out nicely restored or excellent limited edition cars from those generations and put them all together in one collection. And I hope Magnus likes it. This is my 58 Speedster that I've owned for 24 years.
Wow, a 58 Speedster.
Yeah. It was actually restored for Olivia Newton-John after she did the movie Grease.
You're kidding me.
With purple interior.
See, this is what I love about Porsche. I talk about the people all the time,
Yeah.
and how the cars have the stories.
Absolutely.
And every car has a story. The Olivia Newton-John element's pretty cool.
And this one, we ended up with a normal engine that wasn't doing good, and it wasn't the original. So I said, you know what, I'm going to put an SC engine in it.
Oh, awesome.
Wonderful. About 120 horsepower.
That's plenty of horsepower in a car that weighs nothing.
Let's say 1,800 pounds.
Wow. What do you like about Speedsters?
Ah, that open air feeling. I'm a ragtop guy.
Okay. You like the wind in your hair?
Ah, well, I got some left.
Carl likes the Speedsters. I mean, those are pretty awesome cars. He's got quite a few. I think Carl likes the wind in his hair. You know, to me, the beard always gets in my eyes. When did you buy your first Porsche?
In '75, I picked up a hardtop Cabriolet, and I realized after I bought it why the hardtop was bolted on and it didn't have a soft top, because when you took the hardtop off and you went over a bump, the doors would open. So I figured that was my lesson learner. I learned everything about the car after that.
See, people that show me cars with 500 miles on it, I have no interest in that, because there's no story.
That's right.
Show me a car with 500,000 miles on it, or a car with character and patina that's been driven. That's where all those stories evolve.
None of these cars are garage queens
You
now.
drive them.
I drive
That's
them.
great. What else can we take a look
Let's
at?
go. Let's go. Garage 2 is just ahead.
Let's go take a look at Garage 2. Just a great environment to have those cars in. You know, a sterile white garage is just not the same because, you know, to me, it's all about everything that's Porsche related, and seeing those posters and memorabilia on the wall, it's just all part of the story and all part of the journey. That's timed out pretty well there, Carl, where they all go up in sequence.
Yeah.
In chronological order.
Now take your pick.
Well, I love turbos, but I'm going over there. 74, right?
74 Carrera.
I actually own one. I had a black one. It was number 440. And I actually paid like $7,500 for it about 10 years ago. Because,
My goodness.
believe it or not, back then, this was not necessarily a super desirable car.
They still aren't, and yet they're one of the finest driving cars I have.
Yeah.
And handling is phenomenal. 2,300 pounds, built up from the original 175 horsepower, maybe 200 horsepower.
Yeah, maybe on a good day. Can I sit in it?
Oh, come on. You want to drive it. You can drive it later.
Oh, I'm going to love to drive this car. I owned a 74 Carrera, so to me, that's where I'm naturally drawn to. You know, it was also the car which, you know, had a roof in there, so I'm pretty excited to see how his 74 Carrera drives. 74 was the first year of the G body. This went all the way through 1989.
That's right. I got the best of the first and the best of the last.
Yeah, you do, for sure. Pretty awesome. You got a lot of great diversity in here. Tell me about the notchback.
Well, you know, you either like them or you hate them. 61, the T5 body, Porsche ordered too many Cabriolets, so what they did is they told Carmen to weld the hardtops on them.
Oh, how awesome.
So it was a new design,
Yeah.
right? Notch back, meaning it didn't come straight back, right? They did maybe 1,000 of them. Weren't that popular, and a lot of times people would cut the top off and make Cabriolet out of it.
Kind of crazy that Porsche couldn't sell Cabriolets and made them notchbacks.
That's right. But look at this window right here. There are probably less than 50 left in the world, and this is 100% original Carrera, and I've had that Carrera horn ring for 40 years. I finally found a car to put it in.
That's pretty impressive. Let's go drive that 74.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Pedal to the metal time. People that collect cars, I get it, but to me, I'm more about driving, so you know, I really responded to the fact that he drives his cars, and I'm pretty excited to go drive that 74 Carrera of his, so let's get out and drive. So here I am driving Carl's 74 911 Carrera on these awesome North Georgia mountain roads. They got a great flow to them, you know, second, third gear stuff, you know, sort of just sprinting to the corners and rolling through, having a great time. But no, the car's a true joy to drive, super nimble. That's what's great about these lightweight early 911s. You just chuck them around, you don't need a ton of horsepower. The terrain's awesome, the road surface is great. Air-cooled heaven out here in the North Georgia mountains. Let's go one more. I'm super excited to go to a Caffeine and Octane for the first time. I've gone to a lot of cars and coffee type shows all over the world. I want to see if they live up to the hype of Caffeine and Octane, ATL being the biggest car show in America. So I'm going to find out tomorrow. I'm super excited.
Look at this beast. What did you bring with you? Is that an old Plim?
I haven't seen one of these in quite some time. Look at the heads on this thing. They're massive.
Look at this beast. Nice truck. This is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where'd you find that?
We actually built this.
Yeah?
We found the cab in Belk, Alabama. It was a water truck. This is a 69 C50. We put it on a 1970 C30 wedge chassis. We put about 500 miles on it.
What did you bring with you? Is that an old Plim?
It is a Plymouth. My grandfather bought that car brand new in 1952.
What? No way.
Yep. He drove the car for 20 years and parked it in his mother's backyard. It sat there for 40 years up in Virginia. We pulled it out of the backyard, put some fuel to it, put a battery to it, and the car started, ran, and drove.
Can you believe you're driving your grandfather's car?
Isn't that neat?
How
Isn't
cool
that
is
neat?
that?
We pulled all the running gear out of it, put a small block Chevrolet in it, turbo 350, new wire and harness, and you could drive it to California if you wanted to.
So you're gonna leave it like it is?
We're
or-
going to leave it just like it is.
This is an interesting car just pulled in. It's a Daimler Sp250. Are you the owner?
Yes, sir.
Skip Smith, how you doing?
How you doing? Good morning.
Welcome to Caffeine and Octane. I haven't seen one of these in quite some time. This is a pretty rare vehicle. They didn't build a lot of these, did they?
No, I think about 16 or 1,700 in total, and about half of those went to the States.
The design of this is actually quite unique. The front of it looks somewhat like a catfish, I think.
Yeah. This car is actually all original, so it's got the original engine in it. So this is all original daily driver.
You see a small car like this, and you really don't anticipate what's under the bonnet. In here is a V8 Hemi. Look at the heads on this thing. They're massive for the size of this type of car.
Yeah, and it's so lightweight, it weighs under 2,000 pounds because it's all fiberglass. So you've got this big power plant, which is pushing just over 150 horsepower, which for a 1961 is...
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that's a hoot. You think we could take a ride in this?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
You should keep your foot buried and just... it wants to go.
I'd like to do that, but not in this traffic.
It wants to go. I haven't been this fast, but my dad's been about 130 miles an hour in this thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bit of a white knuckle ride.
Well, this is a special car, man. Most people have never heard of one of these, don't understand. The Queen rode in a Daimler.
Yes.
Not a Rolls Royce.
It's a great place to be here at Caffeine and Octane, hanging out with fellow car enthusiasts, sharing stories. How many races has this thing done?
It's got almost 14,000 race miles on it.
You're kidding me. This is the show right here. Have you been here before on this Caffeine and Octane? No. Well, let me tell you, I've gone to a lot of cars and coffee type events, but this is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Overwhelming is my first one-word impression of Caffeine and Octane. Pretty spectacular. Let's go see some cars.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, man?
Thank you for coming out, shake and bake.
Can we get a picture?
Sure, of course. Here we go. Say Porsche. Sure, you want a sticker as well? You got a Ferrari shirt, though. I don't know if I can give you a sticker.
He's perfect because he really respects the fans. For me, it's the excitement that he brings.
Give me a P for Porsche.
One more.
It's a great place to be here at Caffeine and Octane, hanging out with fellow car enthusiasts, sharing stories. We all like to drive, we all like to talk about cars, we all have a need for speed. Let's hear it for Hot Wheels. Those are pretty cool. Sure.
Magnus, I gotta show you something over
All right,
here. This is fantastic.
What are we looking at, the 356?
Yeah, Super
Oh,
90.
that's pretty awesome. I've actually never owned a 356, but it is on the list. Magnus, good to see you.
Hey, Carl.
Everything good?
Good to see you.
It was in this racing configuration for 35 years. Raced every track from Mosport to the Bahamas.
Wow.
Who campaigned the car? Anybody? You?
I'm the mechanic, the owner.
You've raced it for 35 years. How many races has this thing done?
It's got almost 14,000 race miles on it.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty impressive. What a piece of history. Did you do the wood dash?
No.
That's pretty awesome.
They were vinyl covered, and
Yeah.
what took all the vinyl off.
That's pretty awesome. You just never see them like that. It's so cool. All right, Jim, we're gonna go kick some more tires, listen to some more stories, but appreciate sharing yours.
Yeah.
Awesome car.
Appreciate it.
That's pretty nice right there. Inspiration's everywhere, right?
That's right.
What do you have going on here? It looks awesome. Rain gutter delete. I like that. There's a lot of quality cars here, but I think this is pretty interesting right here.
Look at that.
It's like a bespoke, tailor-made suit.
Yes, indeed.
Very, very cool.
Retro Talbot mirror. Look at that. Love the whole softness of the design.
Yeah, it's not a square edge on it.
That's it.
Seamless. Let's go look at that 928. I think we need to see that.
Hi.
This your car?
Yes.
Looks awesome with the BBSs.
Yeah.
This is in great shape as well. What an awesome car.
You can get in if you like.
I'll check it out. How long have you owned it?
3 years. My first car.
Oh, it's your first car?
Yeah.
Oh, what an awesome first car.
Yeah, my dad got his when I was about 10. He has
Okay.
an S4. So I've always loved them. I'm actually training to be a classic technician at PCNA right now.
Oh, that's great.
That's terrific.
Oh, congratulations. Smart choice as well. Very, very cool. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, if you'd be willing, I'd like it if you would sign the door jam.
Sure, wherever you want. $928. Hey, good meeting you.
Yeah,
Take care. Awesome car. Let's go look at some other stuff. The diversity is what makes Caffeine and Octane pretty spectacular. Obviously, I'm a Porsche guy, but I'm a true car enthusiast, and this is a great example here at Caffeine and Octane of diversity of people and cool cars. Hey guys, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Good. Oh, what you got there? We got plenty of Hot Wheels here down in ATL. Well, I always say it's all about the people. If it's not for the people, the car is an appliance that just sits. And it's always great to hear their stories and share their passion. And that's the great thing about being here at Caffeine.